Dolphins coming out two games this year, 2 home games.
Yeah, the
Bills and Dolphins. It's a good look.
Yeah, it's definitely a good look. The jerseys dropped today.
They don't look as big, I realized. It's very slimming. It's like some of the Jack players kind of look like skinny, like, I don't know if they like that. Because, when I played the game, I like the bigger shoulder pads kind of thing, the cowboy collar, It's a lost kind of thing in football. It's all slimming.
I'll take any slimming I can get.
And I saw you with that ATM a couple weeks ago, man.
Listen, I swear.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. We're gonna have to throw that picture up, HT. We're gonna have to put that picture up on the YouTube.
Yeah, times are tough. I get it. But,
No, it was you.
No, put a chip in an ATM. I mean, that's pretty fucking gangster.
You got to do what you got to do. Times are tough out here in these streets.
Yeah, wait, all right. HT, we rolling?
Yeah, we've been rolling.
Sweet.
We're in it. Yeah, we got the brothers Robinson from Delco Footwear Flips, everybody.
Yo.
How it is.
How are you, fellas?
Dave and Adam.
Yes.
Yo, second week in a row. Some real Collingdale dudes.
Just think of that, real Collingdale dudes.
Walnut
Out the
represent.
Yeah, out the mud.
Hell yeah, guys.
Well,
What's going on?
I want to get your cap twisted back.
Yeah, dude. Me and Ush here, Dave, went to Westchester together. Dude, I was thinking about this, like, I don't know what I've been doing the last 20 years. Like, before
Relaxing, a lot of relaxing.
dude, so much relaxing.
Yeah.
Like, I had a recording studio set up in my room in Westchester with the cassette. It was a cassette tape 4-track recorder. This is pre-computers. And I got really fucking good at it. And people were coming by and I was like recording demos for people and
Mixtapes.
Ush came by and like we recorded a rap song. It's fucking great, dude. And then like I was on a trajectory like to be like a fucking real like producer, like if I kept up with the times. Then just a lot of relaxing went there.
Then a lot.
So much relaxing.
Just a bunch of taking it easy.
So much relaxing, dude. But
all the Collingdale dudes your age were unbelievable rappers.
Yeah, dude.
And didn't even know. Like Stauffer, Doc, that's a sick ass rhyme. Like Jody.
Yeah.
Jody had like one of the hardest bars. She was like the original Lil Kim.
She was. Do you remember Jody's verse?
I don't.
Jody Barkley had a verse, and the best line in it was, "Don't be fooled by the pretty face. I'll fuck your dad, kill your mom, and leave without a trace." I like when chicks talk about fucking guys like they're the aggressor.
Yeah, exactly.
I love
She's gonna
that.
fuck this girl's parent.
Yeah, we're gonna fuck these dudes. Like the dudes are just chilling.
Yeah.
Never knew you had a rap career.
It was short-lived.
Short-lived.
Yeah, I don't know if it qualifies as a career. It was fucking dope though. Then even Doc, rest in peace. It was just Doc's birthday last Thursday, so shout out Eric Doc.
It would have been 40,
I know you're listening wherever you are. I know you're a diehard fan.
44, I guess.
I get, yeah.
Yeah, because he was a year older than you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe
like,
two.
I was going to be like, nah, he's only a year older than me. I forget I'm 43 now.
Yeah.
Stop keeping track around like 41, I guess.
I think when you get to 40, it's kind of like, it's all the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like nothing matters
I'll
anymore.
count my years. I got time on that.
What do you do?
No, you don't. The thing is, you don't. The thing is, you think you do, you don't. Yeah. We were all in that position where you're like, dude,
I'll never
like
get
20
old.
years from now, fuck, whatever. Then what happens? A whole lot of relaxing, dude.
Yeah.
Next thing you know.
I can vouch for that, yeah. You were the last graduating class of St. Joe's, right?
Yeah,
after.
And technically the last class of Bonner before it came Bonner Prendy.
Oh, before it was co-ed?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So
I guess it's just me. I got that bad omen on me.
I remember seeing you on the news, like for one of those Bonner, like keep Bonner alive kind of like things, and you were like the spokesman at Bonner.
He had long hair back then.
He had long hair, but he could dance.
I was the high school Fabio.
Yeah, you were doing this little dance kind of thing.
He was on the news a couple of times for that stuff.
Yeah, I remember seeing him.
The snow days when we rolled out like the iPads for the first time. Freddie was like, "Yo, can you do this for us?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." Sitting at the kitchen table in Collingdale, doing classes and all that time.
Well, did the students finally get something in return for the fucking astronomical tuition? Did you finally get iPads or something to help?
Something.
I think when we were in Bonner, I think it was $3,000 a year. And I think by the time you might have been there, it might have been up to 7.
I was going to say,
8, yeah,
something I don't even know at that point.
I'm pretty sure it costs more for him to go to Bonner than me to go to Westchester.
Probably.
Yeah, it skyrocketed. And like when we were there, so it's $3,000 a year, and back then to go to like a St. Joe's prep was 10. Now it's 10 at Bonner. I'm thinking to myself, for that education, wow. Yeah. And so prep's got to be 40 a year. I don't know.
I have no fucking idea how people do that, man.
Yeah, like now it's like more important to. You got to move to an area where you can go to their public school.
Yeah.
Just the rich hoarding resources is what it is, Mike.
Tell them, Hef. Preach.
Taking all that money out of the middle class's pockets and just sending their kids, fucking buying up shore real estate.
Don't get them started on the shore.
It's fucking bullshit.
Will somebody please invite my friend down the shore?
I don't even want to go to the shore
Invite my
anymore.
friend to the shore.
I don't even want to go to the shore anymore. It's all over my social media. These
See what you
fucking
did,
geeks
guys?
down there.
See what you did?
Fucking dorks that are like, oh,
So
the
many
sea-
years of not inviting
the
him.
sea
Now he
just
doesn't wanna
speaks
go.
To me, no, your dad bought a shore house 40 years ago.
Now he doesn't wanna
That's
go.
why the ocean speaks to you.
See what you did, Hoagie?
Fuck. We'll do it live.
Yes.
One sore subject down.
No, dude. Yeah, one sore subject down, many to go.
We're going down to Seattle City soon. We're going to wow out down there.
Are you going out
Fucking
in
sock
August?
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going down tomorrow, actually.
Nice.
I'm doing like a beach party.
Sea Isle?
Yeah, that Mochella beach party thing.
Sweet. Have yourself a predictable time.
Well, I'll make $800.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, that's
thanks.
what's up.
That is what's up.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So,
we got Delco Footwear Flips. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Sure, let's
rock
get
it.
into it.
yeah.
Go right ahead, boys.
How'd you get? Yeah, how'd that start?
So I think it was more so
In the beginning.
personals, like buying personal shoes. It was just easy. Buy your own size. You want a new pair of shoes, clean up your old shoes and sell them. Have the money to buy them.
Yeah.
Then I think it was an untapped market for us. We were just buying like our own stuff, and then you have that time. You buy smaller sizes. I mean, I'm a 13,
Yeah.
so
Big hammer.
anything lower.
He does. Yeah.
But it was easy that way to just start with the big feet stuff.
Yeah.
Because I knew there was only a couple guys doing our sizes, and aside from giving us the hand-me-downs and clothes, now that I'm bigger
Sweet.
than him,
Yeah.
the shoes that just came next.
Now, are they all restorations? Like,
No.
they're not. Do you do any of that? Like,
That's
We
pretty
do.
much
So
it.
we kind of have two very different skill sets. So Adam's really good about buying new shoes that are hard to get and getting them to the people that are willing to pay the top dollar
Yeah.
for them. My area of expertise is more so like scouting out like thrift stores and flea markets and rehabbing older shoes, cleaning them, getting fresh paint on them, re-gluing them if they need minor repairs, and then flipping them that way.
So Delco Footwear Flips is it a marketplace? Like, let's. What is it? Is it a website? Like, let's talk
So
like
we
I've never heard of
We
it.
tried doing a website to drive traction to that. It didn't pan out. It was more so to get our name out there. But once we saw the potential to buy not just our size, for personal wears, but other sizes, we kind of linked up and we're like, hey, we're both on Instagram. What if we make a page and just sell on that rather than sell on our personal accounts? And the Instagram was that was like the first start of us like actually doing it together. Aside from that, it was us hitting each other up. Yo, look what I bought this week. I'm going to post it. And then, we went from there. Facebook, we kind of started that up to have like our own Facebook page, but a lot of the traction's through Instagram for us and eBay for him.
Yeah, I sell a lot more pairs on eBay. Just there's a bigger market for used pairs there, regardless of size or condition. Whereas our Instagram page, I think, gets a lot more looks from people that are looking for newer sneakers that just came out that you can't get in Foot Locker or Champs.
what's the benefit that they are finding a shoe that isn't out there and not available, or is it cheaper, or both?
Well, it's
Like, why would the customer want to go through you guys?
So that's a two-part answer. It's usually not cheaper than getting it at a Foot Locker or something like that, but it's supply and demand. They sell out a Foot Locker, or you have to buy them online quick, and then they're gone. So you're paying just huge fees from a reseller.
Yeah.
The other upside to getting them from us, and I can speak for myself, I'm sure you can too, when you're just buying from Joe Schmo on Instagram, the likelihood of you buying authentic kicks is pretty low. You're most likely buying a really good
Knockoffs.
pair of replicas or fakes or unauthorized kicks. So unless you have someone that can legit check them and verify that they're authentic, you're probably buying fake shoes if you're getting them from Facebook or Instagram. We've all gotten burned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on that.
Unfortunately, it's part of the game. You just kind of got to live and learn and take that knowledge, and
And
hopefully it doesn't happen again.
is there some type of card or the paperwork that comes with it? Like, how do you know you're not?
So new ones, depending on where you buy them from. Like with eBay shoes are authenticated, and that'll come with like an authentication. What is it? A sticker or a?
They give you a sticker, a little card that
Like
says they've been
medallion attached to
authenticated.
it. Aside from that, like there's telltale signs of, like off of the size tag of the shoe, or if the shoe comes with the box, like the UPC code.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things, but like it's gonna sound so weird, right? To say this, there's a lot of shoes you can tell are fake just from the smell.
No shit.
Yeah. So if you see us huffing shoes, you know what I mean? Like it's for a reason.
Fake shoes have a very
I get into that too. You can,
you know that new
Yeah,
sneaker
yeah.
smell?
It's, distinct.
The fake shoes don't have it.
Don't have
They
that,
smell
yeah.
like glue.
Yeah, it's like right out of the factory type.
And
That's what you want to stay away.
What are your top shoes, like like Yeezys and stuff like that? Is that years ago, or what's
I think it's definitely like
Jordans? Obviously,
Jordan. I think is always going to be like such a staple for everybody, whether you're in Delco or not. Like,
yeah.
You just hear Jordan, you're like, oh yeah, I have so many memories of those. But like the times, like last year it was Nike Dunks. The year before that it was the Jordan 1. Like there's just so many unpredictable times of like what's going to be hot. You got to take a chance, and sometimes it pays, sometimes it doesn't.
Do you find like is like almost like there's a song of the summer? Is there like a shoe of the summer like each year? Yeah,
there most definitely is.
Okay. And what price range are we talking these days?
Well, I mean, I think again,
what are we
like
going
most
for?
of our markets, I think, are a little bit different. I think for you, it's a lot stretched.
Yeah, I think like for me, the pairs that I sell, I'm looking to make anywhere between $30 to $25 a shoe. So I'm not out there killing it. The shoes that I'm doing are used. I put a little bit of TLC in there, flip them, turn around, invest it back in.
that means comes.
Whereas like with the pairs that Adam's grabbing, you can buy a pair at Foot Locker for $180, and within 20 minutes of them selling out, they're worth $400.
Yeah, it's just
the market's
you just got to be there for it. You know,
shoe.
It's probably planned that way too. Like just like the plan, like to sell out and stuff like that.
limited releases and stuff.
Like I mean, talk about all the missed opportunities of me. When I was younger, I sold used socks and underwear to the parish priests. Just one in particular, and you talk about smelling them. That was the way that Father, I'm not going to say
Leighton.
it, but yeah, that was the way he could tell whether it was real or not. And he would also pay more if they were soiled. Does that ever come up? So you guys get more money if they're clean, not soiled.
Yeah,
it's a different game.
It's a
More
game.
money if they're clean. Sometimes a couple pairs of shoes that I've had have had a very distinct smell of trees or cigarettes.
Yeah.
That smell is hard.
Can't get that out. Yeah, or cat piss. Cat piss is the worst fucking.
You can try and clean them. You can try and use like dryer sheets or tea bags or cedar chips, but for the most part, once that smell is in there, it's in there pretty well.
Now, when you restore a shoe, like say I wore, like I got a Reebok pumps, and they're fucking old. Like you restore them, but do they still have the life? Do they get the life back? Do they get Do they get a year's worth of time, or are they an old shoe that looks good?
So it all depends what the kind of purpose is for it. If you're restoring shoes to simply look good, if you want to put them on a display shelf or whatever, you can probably get by cleaning them and just putting in some paint and then leather conditioner. Whereas like if you take an old pair of shoes and want to continue to wear them, they're most likely going to need glue where the upper meets the sole, because the glue is really only good for about 10 years.
Certain type of glue. I mean, you're not just using fucking Elmer's, right? Yeah.
I've learned that.
Or rubber cement.
There's tons of YouTube videos that like kind of walked me through everything, but it was really just trial and error of different glues. But there's a brand I use called Barge Infinity Cement or Barge Super Stick that you have a very short window of time before that glue has cured, and you're screwed if it hasn't bonded right. So I use that stuff, and it works pretty well.
So like, it's cool to talk about like the specifics of that, but to zoom out a bit, like sneakerhead culture, right? So you guys are a part of that, and you guys are helping,
Definitely.
You guys are leaning into that culture and doing your service to help that. So like, do you guys know, like, out of curiosity, like when did that like become a thing, like the sneaker culture, sneakerheads, and what got you, is there any like particular shoe or video or movie you saw that got you guys into it? Like, if we were talking hip hop, you could talk like New York, like in the 80s, right? Like for the start. Is there like an agreed upon start for like that?
Not so much.
Like Air Jordans, maybe? Like when they dropped, did that make it kind of.
Air Jordans.
That's a good guess.
Changed the game.
Yeah.
I was always into sneakers, even growing up. Like I loved getting that new pair of sneaks for Christmas or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when I went to Westchester, I kind of fell off a little bit. Shout out Bobby Seitz one day. We were going to play basketball.
Shout out Bobby Seitz.
I pick him up in Clifton Zoo. We go play basketball. He gives me a pair of Air Jordan 11 Space Jams. We play. I'm going to drop them back off, and he's like, dude, just keep them.
Yeah.
So that kind of got me back into sneakers. Once I had like a little walking around money out after college, after getting a house and whatnot, I just started buying all those pairs that I wanted as a kid and couldn't get or had as a kid and wanted to get again.
How difficult is it to, get them back out there and make them, not keep what you fix and buy? I'm sure you're like, I'm keeping the, I know exactly.
One for me,
but it's a
one for
business.
you.
So you got to there's got to be turnover, you got to do your work and then get them out. But I'm sure sometimes you've done the work and like, shit, these are fucking fire.
The pair that I have on there now are my favorite pair. They're the Air Jordan 6 black and infrared. I've probably owned this pair of shoes 7 times, and just once I wear it and it gets a little bit too beat up, I clean it, get rid of it, and buy a new pair. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of one of those pairs that I have like a sentimental attachment to that I'll just keep getting. So I always have to have a pair of these.
It's funny. I have one sneak that I buy over and over. It's the New Balance gray.
Yeah.
The gray and white. That's when I'm done the 990, I just buy a new pair of the gray, and I've done that for 10, 15 years.
And
that's the only sneaker.
That's hot right now.
That's a hot shoe.
Yeah. Right now.
Yeah. I mean, I've been wearing it for 10 years, and like every year or two, I mean, I'll just buy a new pair of them. Like I don't go looking anymore.
Yeah.
It looks good on you.
When I was younger, I always got fucking like not the thing I wanted, but like the knockoff thing that like and I remember like the Reebok black tops came out, like the above the rim with like the hexalite, and it was like kind of like the Nike Air type shit, and I thought that was hot. I asked for that, and I got a pair of like they were K-Swiss. Black high top, and they had some kind of thing in the heel where it was like, oh, this isn't hexalite, but
it's close.
And it was just this big indent in the heel of it. Like you couldn't even see from the side. It was a cutout almost, and it went up maybe like an inch, and then it was like spongy up there. I put them on within 20 minutes. I stepped in dog shit, and dog shit just filled up the entire indentation. I had to fucking get like a popsicle stick and like work it out. I was like, fuck this.
And nowadays when that happens, you just throw them my way and I can restore them back.
Yeah.
Hell
Fresh
yeah,
out of the
dude.
box.
None of that shit scares you, I'm sure, at this point.
That's what I'll do. So like if somebody's like a baseball card collector or something like that, right? Like there are cards like the Hannes Wagner and et cetera. Are there like, and I know there are, but do you guys want to talk about like some of like the fucking holy grail type shoes? I was popping around on YouTube and there was somebody at like a sneaker show. I know you guys do stuff like that. And the one video I saw, they were like, holy shit, this dude's wearing a $200,000 pair of whatever.
Sure.
There was like that type of shit. Yeah. Like, what are some of the hottest, like, most holy grail?
I think the one it's probably up there with your favorite is the Nike Air Mag.
Yeah, the shoes from Back to the Future too.
Oh, didn't they make them?
Yeah, in 2015.
Yeah. They only made like, what was it, like 2,500 pairs or like something astronomically low. But now they're like, depending on the size, anywhere between 15 and 25,000.
So how does someone even get them? If they make them so low, are they do they even hit market? Or are they just like, do they give them away to like people that already endorse their shoes?
It was probably something where like
celebrities
they were on the movie set or like some stuff like that.
So they were originally redone by Nike for Michael J. Fox's charity. So they made them, the self-lacing, just like in the movie, specifically with the intent of whatever profits they made, they were giving to Michael J. Fox's charity. So once those pairs were out, people kind of held on to them for a couple of years, and then just the resale market took off on them. So like if you see someone at a table with Air Mags, you know that they have absolute fire heat for sale, and probably everything on their table is something that you can't afford.
So you will come across them sometimes at a show?
Yeah. It's actually funny that
you saw that guy in Brooklyn wearing them.
Me and our other partner, Joe Radico.
Joe Radico.
Shout out Joe Radico.
Yeah, another Collingdale boy.
We were up at a show in Brooklyn at the some secondary, like, I don't know if it was their farm league team up there, but whatever it was, we had an event inside of a baseball stadium. It was absolutely cool, super great experience. A dude was wearing a pair of the Air Mags, walking around just like didn't give a shit, scuffing them up, and he had like 2 more in his hands to sell. So like that dude, like he's
papered up. He's papered up.
I sent a picture to Ush because he didn't come with us. I was like, yeah, dude, this guy's wearing Air Mags. He was like, holy shit. That guy's got it.
That dude was balling out.
Yeah.
So something like that would have to come with like all authentic, like all papers of authenticity, and
it's a special box too.
They do make replicas of those. You can get a really good pair of fake Air Mags for like $3,000. They look
fake ones for $3,000.
Fake ones for $3,000.
Yeah.
That's how good they look.
That's how good they
You know, it's interesting that you brought up the baseball card comparison because that's kind of how I see it too. It kind of seems like that with like the shows and stuff like that. It's got a lot of similarities to that kind of, you know, that they control the supply and just kind of watch the demand. Like, you know, they don't over kind of produce them at the level of shoe that you guys are doing.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice that we were able to like, one, even go to these shows. Like, I never would have thought about doing anything like this.
Yeah.
I didn't get into like Jordans or nice kicks like that until I was in college playing on the Newman basketball team. I was rolling into practice with like Nike Reacts on.
Yeah.
And all the dudes had Jordans. I was like, oh shit, I got to get in there.
Yeah, you got to step
That
the
was
fuck up.
like my first experience. Obviously him always having them, but that was my first. I was like, dude, I got to get a pair of Jordans to fit in. And that was the start.
Yeah, that's what started it for you.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys stick primarily to sneakers, or do you do like shoe repairs, like boots? Like, you know,
I have repaired work boots before.
Yeah.
Not really a great repair.
Right.
I did a pair for our brother-in-law, Mitch Stewart. Shout out Mitch Stewart.
Shut up, Mitch Stewart.
Yo, Mitch.
I didn't know what
He actually married like a girl that I was really interested in. So I'm a little pissed off at just some girl. Yeah, some girl that I was really interested in. So
but I glued a pair of boots for him.
shout out Emily.
And I didn't use the right kind of glue, and the glue job probably lasted until the first time he went to go kick something, and it just separated again. So repairing work boots or repairing shoes, it's a little more tricky.
Yeah, there's a guy, Lou the Shoe. You ever hear of him? He's over by the old Maggie O'Neill's. He's done some faulty repair work on some boots I've had.
Red Wings.
So, yeah, so, I never knew. Like, there's a lot of people that don't even know this exists. Like your market, like, you know, so a lot of people are just kind of wear out a pair of shoes or think that they're ruined and kind of go on to the next one and not know that, you know, there's life left in them.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird how obviously when, you know, we meet new people and they're asked like, oh, like what do you do? And we kind of tell them it's like there's a market for that.
Do you try to have like something in every size?
We try. It's very hard because I feel like a lot of times it's like sitting on stale inventory. We definitely know like we have a great following on Instagram. Like a lot of dudes hit us up that are buyers frequently. So we know kind of the gist of what sizes to carry.
Right.
But we want to make it, you know, known that everybody can shop with us. So like we've sold toddler shoes. We do sell women's shoes. Like it's a little harder because not
G's up, hose down. I was just going to say,
Word.
yeah, G's up, hose down. I was just going to say, do you guys do women's?
Yeah. So we do. I think it's.
Are there women sneakerheads?
Yeah, absolutely. But they're very specific. I don't think that they really want to buy used.
Yeah, right.
We're dudes.
They're very
So it is a little bit different trying to cater to the women. But with us, we're trying to stabilize having a set inventory. So it's like if someone hits us up for a size, we can say, oh yeah, here, this is what we got. Boom, boom, boom.
Now, Joe, does he kind of do another end of the business? Like Ush does the one kind of thing you do, your expertise is in the other. Is Joe kind of do more what you do or something completely different?
For the most part, he's kind of like a utility knife with us. When he is with us doing it, he does customs. Like Dave also does like splatter. You ever see those?
Yeah, cool
so
shit.
He'll take a pair of Air Forces completely white and deck it out where it's taped off and splattered into like a certain design. That was like his real thing that he was into. So he's going to start doing that again.
Yeah.
But we also tried to get into like streetwear. So like vintage jerseys, vintage band tees, like
Shirts
all
you
that
got
kind
on,
of stuff.
like
These are, you know,
just kind of advertisement,
yeah, just
Okay.
advertisement. But
Yeah.
like we wanted to get into another thing. You know, fresh pair of J's matched with like a throwback jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fire fit.
I'd pay anything for a vintage Michael Barkley, Bonner, Fryer, Mitchell and Ness.
87.
What was your number? 87?
87, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Size
fucking
56
hot,
plus
dude.
2 length.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Really?
87. Jimmy Davey was that before me. Yeah, your year, because Hef and Usher 2 years older than I am, and Jimmy was very good. But the only reason I really picked it was because, I mean, Jimmy was good, but I wanted
out Jimmy Davey.
I wanted the last number on homecoming, so it made it look to like the people in the stands that I was the most important person getting called out to run.
There you go.
And there was nobody in the 90s or 80s, so everybody goes to them. I'm the last one they called. So, I mean, I probably didn't make a tackle that whole season, but I was the last one called. Yeah, but I was the last one called at homecoming. So people in the stands would be like, wow, he must be important.
That's awesome.
But
What kind of streetwear do we have? I like streetwear.
So again, you know, it was a trial and everything. It's another thing where it's like you really got to have a demand for a certain size. So it's like you can't really just buy everything.
2 or 3X, depending on the weekend I've had.
But like we do want to get into like really doing like a select throwback jerseys. So like basketball, some baseball, more football, because I feel like you see like a throwback football jersey or like a real vintage like
the Eagles, for example, the Eagles, Kelly Green released today.
You know, you have that old school Randall Cunningham, like white with the green, something
Right.
like that. You just look at it, it's like, yeah, that's tough.
Yeah,
We've been
that's
gathering
beautiful.
pairs over the last couple of weeks, specifically for the Kelly Green Eagles jerseys.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that if you're kind of, if the wheels are spinning, for that.
Definitely.
So it's not something that we normally have done, but obviously with the Eagles being so good as of lately, like we wanted to do that. So we're kind of hoarding pairs at this point that are specific to the Eagles, whether they're the midnight green colorway,
Right.
or more so the new
Right.
drop for the Kelly Green.
Yeah.
That we're gonna pretty much sell Eagles shoes all season long, specifically to for the Sunday fit.
And this is not like, this is a business that isn't, there's not much overhead. So you don't have to have a storefront. You can kind of do it all online now and like have kind of like your inventory at your houses or a room in the house. It's not something that you need to kind of dip in like a $700 a month rent to like a storefront.
We thought about it. There was a lot of.
I'm sure there's benefits to it, but still, I mean, nowadays the positives and the positives outweigh to just kind of do it and send. Do it and
I
send.
think it was almost like a blessing in disguise that we didn't do it, because I had like meetings set up with like different realtors and stuff like that to look at locations before the pandemic happened. And if we would have signed something before that, I mean, we would have been screwed.
This guy was gung-ho about it.
I was.
You wanted storefront.
the
I wanted
bullet.
to quit my job, like my real job.
Yeah, I remember.
full-fledged, like,
I remember you
really
telling me that a
wanted
few years ago that this was. You were looking to, and you have a good real job.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't. But that passion's still there.
And that's what I was just thinking. It's awesome that you have a passion to where like you guys both that you jump into something and it's that important to you that you would take a stab at it, because like you got to wake up and like be excited about whatever it is you do, and to have that is is fucking cool. There's a lot of people don't have that right here. No, no, I mean music was that, and it still is, I guess. But
Yeah, so there's like a few major sneaker companies, right?
Yeah.
Like there's like Nike and Reebok and whatever, right? So like, are there any like emerging sneaker companies that are smaller, more boutiquey, or is it always gonna why? It's funny that like there's so many different industries where like there's always more than like 2 or 3 big names. Like, are there any like up and comers? I have noticed before. I forget where I was, but I must have been in some kind of department store shopping for Mike or something, but I noticed there was this fucking pair of sneakers, and it was, I want to say like Word of God or something like that, like something of God, Lamb of Fear of God.
Yeah.
And the sneakers were like $1,400, and then there was like bullshit like slides, like pool shoes, and they were like $600, and I was like, there's a whole world of this shit that I don't know about. What's that stuff? Is that like just boom, you're a fucking tech millionaire in California, or you're Drake? Like no one else is buying this shit, right? Like, what is that?
it's not necessarily like new emerging ones. I think a lot of the lower end, like, you know, Puma and like
Adidas
and New Balance, like they're not. I don't think anyone's ever gonna match like Nike. You know what I mean? Like Nike is just like the creme de la creme of like shoes, right? But a lot of these lower end companies are starting to get into like younger athletes to promote their shoes and like promote their brand and stuff. So I think in some time, like there could be some noise from lower end, but Nike just has everybody in their pocket when it comes to like collabs. Where when you mentioned Fear of God, like Nike has a collaboration with Fear of God.
So they swallow them up. To answer his question, as soon as they come up, they'll swallow them.
Yeah. Adidas has a collab with them now that's coming out.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I
That's
think
what's
you just gotta be there at the right time where you see the potential for an athlete to be like your it guy, and it just
like a Steph Curry or something like that, because he went away from Nike and he went to Under Armour, which is a good example of a company that kind of is the new guy, and they're not the new guy, but like they're established, and they. But it's funny you said that, kind of like Instagram, how like they were the shit, but they got swallowed up by Facebook. Like, so it's more like that. But I would think Under Armour might be the last example of a new kid on the block.
Yeah. Like that exploded. So I'd never taken a real close. I'd never thought much about sneakers, right? So you guys look at it from a whole different lens than I do. Is there a reason Nike's the shit? Like, are construction,
Michael Jordan,
like, or is it just association with endorsements? Like, is it just like who they pick, or is it like this is a far superior product, the design is better, the variety is better, like, or is it just they were the first ones?
I think initially it was who they had wearing their stuff. So Jordan made Nike pop on the map. Everyone wanted to get it, especially like hip hop culture. Everyone wanted Nike.
You throw a line into a rap song and boom, you know. Air Force Ones, they blew up probably after that rap.
The Nike sign, it's a cool symbol, so I feel like
recognizable.
It's like having that little polo horse. Like as soon as you're wearing it, everyone knows what you're wearing. So the little Nike swoosh.
When I pull up.
Yeah, there you go. When you pull up, you gotta have that horsepower.
The horsepower.
But in terms of like quality, Nikes aren't the best shoe out there for quality wise. There are a lot of shoes that are going to give you a lot more like cushion for your feet than a pair of Nike running shoes are. Like the pair of Hokas that you're wearing now, I have a couple of pairs of Hokas. They're by far more comfortable on my feet all day than a pair of Nikes are. So I wear those at a gym. I wear those to run. But if I'm trying to stunt, then I'm going to
that's what's up. But I remember kind of like when we were young playing basketball, you had to have high tops. And I noticed now in the NBA, they don't even have anything over their ankles. Was that like a misconception? Like, do they provide the same support to an athlete below the ankle or above the ankle?
I personally, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I've tried to wear like low cut Kyrie's and even some Steph Curry's. I got horrible ankles. Like I'm also a bigger dude.
Right.
Like you go up, like a lot of weight's coming down. You know what I mean? I think to this day, probably this best pair of basketball shoes I wore playing was like the Hyper Dunks,
which are below the ankle.
Yeah, no, they're above.
They're above the ankle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even think people wear them now.
Yeah, and to think,
I haven't seen anyone wearing high tops in a long time.
Well,
you had
it's summertime, you know.
Summer
no,
also.
but like in years. Like I don't mean seasonally. Like I haven't seen anyone wearing high tops in a long time.
I see younger kids kind of have them with the tongue kind of exposed. Like that's kind of a look. But to think that like people ever played basketball in high top Chucks.
Chuck Taylor?
Yeah, and that's a great look.
The first pair I had, I was playing in the pit with my dad as a coach. We're both wearing the cream colored
The
Chuck.
pit.
I had to wear high tops. I was spraining my ankle every
8-foot baskets.
couple times a week, dude. I had to get long shoelaces and wrap them around the ankle and then fucking tie them in the front.
Like Bill Lambier or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. But I mean, my Uncle Red's, it's the only shoe he's ever worn. But so I maybe 10 years ago, they were discontinuing them. I think he bought like 50, 60 pairs just so he'd never run out. But are they back? Do they still make the Chuck creams? Yeah. Because wasn't there something where they were going to discontinue them and they were I thought it was about 10 years ago. I'm not sure.
I don't know if they necessarily were going to discontinue them, but like Chucks are awful to wear. So they've tried to re-up the technology and use like thicker insoles so that
I hate Chucks.
Your feet aren't as uncomfortable. So they've come back out. There have been a couple of collaborations with like John Varvatos and different other like higher end people that I think have like resparked it. But I think you're always going to find people that are wearing Chucks because it's a classic shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't work for me. I bought Chucks maybe like 5, 6, 7 years ago because I liked the look and I just wanted like a fucking pair of shoes.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know.
You can't
I need more
slip them
width.
on. It's not a shoe that you can slip on. You literally got to
tie them out.
Yeah, dude. It's a lot of effort to wear a Chuck. And you get no support.
I need to just step into it.
Yeah.
The Van slip-ons.
Yeah. What's the craze with the Crocs?
I love it.
Yeah.
6 pairs on.
Maybe like 2-3 years ago, it became like finally popular again. Now, do the big companies make them now, or do you still buy the same old like Crocs?
It's just the market. Like, there's a shit ton of collabs.
So now you can get them. Now you pay like a couple $100 for them. Yeah. Jesus
So
Christ.
it's actually pretty cool. And I like to talk about this because like it's they're Crocs, right?
Right.
So during the pandemic, Post Malone donated his own Croc. Like he has his own. It's a black colorway and a pink colorway. He donated them to the hospital, so they gave them out to the workers for free. So like I wear those every day to work. But after that, I looked in and it was like, damn, these are actually really comfortable. So now, like from that experience, I bought like 4 or 5 other pairs.
Do you sock it?
At work.
At work, yeah. But in summer,
you got a beach pair. Just bring them down in the water, shake them out.
I was so against Crocs for probably the first.
It was divisive when this whole thing came back.
Now
yeah.
I rock out with my Crocs.
Yes, yeah. It's a god. I think it's a cool look.
What's your? We're gonna pop over to the Patreon in a second, but before we go, this is the public episode. What's your Instagram handles, like so we can check that out?
So it's Delco Footwear LLC, and that's across Instagram and Facebook. You have your own through eBay, but everything.
Yeah, I do stuff on eBay too. But anything you want to find that's on eBay, either from my account or Adam's, you can definitely find it on our Instagram, Delco_Footwear LLC.
Great, and we'll link all that below.
Cool.
All right, cool. We're gonna switch over to the Patreon.